This video, brought to you by Funding101.org, includes secrets to keeping great volunteers for your nonprofit. The real secret to keeping happy volunteers is to make sure that your board of directors shows gratitude. There are many ways that you can make sure your volunteers know how much you appreciate them, and very few of those ways have to cost you any money at all, but all of them will reap great rewards for your organization if you do them. You can start doing a Volunteer of the Month certificate that will hang in a prominent place in your facility, along with a photograph of that volunteer. We included a certificate that you can use over and over again in the Making Profits for Your Nonprofit program, so now you have no excuse not to do it. Introducing your volunteers at your live events. Imagine how exciting it would be for a volunteer to have the host of your live event with a microphone bring up that volunteer onto the stage and introduce them to the audience. That costs you nothing to do, but it can provide a moment for a volunteer that they will cherish for a very long time. And by the way, they deserve the recognition. Think about throwing an annual party for your volunteers to celebrate their contributions. Again, this doesn't have to cost your organization anything. If you get local businesses to provide the refreshments and if you host the event at your own facility. Take lots of photos at the event and post them on your website page, on your social media pages, and send out press releases to the media with those photographs. This would be great fun for your volunteers to see themselves in the local newspaper, and again, it would cost your organization nothing to do this. And by the way, those volunteers deserve the recognition. Think about structuring your organization in a way that you could actually offer volunteers room for advancement. Every nonprofit has jobs that need to be done. Some are easier than others. Some require more responsibility than others. If your board of directors took the time to list those jobs in the order of difficulty and importance, you could actually provide your volunteers with a path for advancement. This gives your volunteers something to work toward and something to be proud of as they move forward within your organization. Create a wine-free environment, and I don't mean Cabernet. I want you to create a wine-free environment for your volunteers so they look forward to coming to your facility. Nothing turns off a volunteer more than hearing complaining and trash talking when they come to do something nice. Remember that people volunteer because it makes them feel better. If you make sure that you provide a wine-free environment at your facility, your volunteers will continue to volunteer because it will continue to make them feel better. As you start to work with more and more sponsors, try to get gift bags for your guests and make sure that you get some for your volunteers as well. The contents of those bags doesn't have to include Rolex watches. Just fun, thoughtful things from your sponsors can brighten the day of your volunteers. Why not showcase your volunteers on your website with their photographs and a short biography about each one of them? You could actually set up a Meet Our Volunteers page on that website. What a great way to say thank you to the people who help you do the great work that you do every day. And again, that doesn't cost you anything to do, but it'll mean so much to your volunteers. Knowing that you appreciate them and that you're demonstrating that appreciation will go a long way to keeping volunteers working hard for you for years and years to come. As you're sending out your weekly press releases, include one that showcases your Volunteer of the Month. Send in a photograph along with the release and the reason why this individual was selected. I can almost guarantee a clipping of that newspaper article will end up in a photo album at their house. And again, that costs your organization nothing to do, but it'll mean so much to the volunteer. And by the way, when the rest of your community reads that in the local newspaper, what they will also note is that your organization takes very good care of your volunteers, so when they're thinking of volunteering, guess who they're going to come and see? We provided you with several ways to show appreciation to your volunteers. No matter how you choose to do it, at the end of the day, the currency that keeps volunteers volunteering is called appreciation. Funding 101 is dedicated to helping nonprofits thrive no matter what the economy's doing. Our program, Making Profits for Your Nonprofit, includes more than 100 tips and a baker's dozen of success principles that you can start using today to attract more donors, more volunteers, more business sponsors, more grant money, more media coverage, and a whole lot more. Best of all, 90% of all the tips and techniques we're sharing in the program won't cost you a dime to use. The bad news, though, is every one of those tips and techniques is already costing you a boatload of lost revenue until your organization starts using them. You deserve to be successful and to expand the good works that your organization does every day. Now, it's time to invest in your organization and learn some new techniques that will help you stop struggling and start thriving. Click on the Add to Cart button to get your program today. To read more tips about how to keep your volunteers happy, follow the link provided on your screen. Your success always matters to us at funding101.org. Keep up the good work and watch for our next video.